So I'm sure by now most HIMS investors would have seen this news, and it's that Novo Nordisk and HIMS are actually ending their partnership, right? So I wouldn't say that they're really ending their partnership. It's more like Novo Nordisk actually ambushed HIMS, right? Because the moment that they put out this press release, actually on the HIMS website, they were still selling all the Novo stuff, and everything looked normal, right? And then after that, HIMS really changed their website, right? So at this current point in time, I'm still holding on to all my HIMS shares, right? Actually, my entry was around $33, and it kind of sucks, right? Because I was thinking at $66, I actually want to half my position, right? So unfortunately, it didn't reach that. Maybe this, right? But this was just like 1 hour, not enough really time to think, right? So at this current point in time, I'm thinking of a few forward moving things, which is first of all, how did NVO's shareholder base react, right? Because NVO's shareholder base actually sold the stock down by 7%, and that's about 15 to 16 billion dollars in market cap, right? Maybe even more than that, maybe close to 20 billion in market cap. So HIMS lost about 4 billion in market cap, and NVO actually lost about 20 billion or 17 18 billion in market cap, right? So it's a very bad breakup for both of these companies, right? Because both of these companies shareholder actually suffered, right? So you might have remembered somewhere here, NVO actually partnered with HIMS, and I said the lawsuits are basically off the table, right? And now when this happens, actually the lawsuit is back on the table, right? So the next question we have to ask ourselves is the lawsuit actually priced in, right? Because a 1 day drop of 35% is actually very, very steep, right? And this is basically the market's way of saying, yeah, lawsuit is back on the table, right? And this is a very, very precarious situation to be in, right? Because it's very hard to predict like when they are going to come out with the lawsuit, or if the market has even reacted to the lawsuit news, right? Because I was just telling my friend, if it was down like 8% or even 10% when the market opens, I'll just sell my whole position and be done with it, right? Because this is actually very, very uncertain and also has potential to damage a company quite heavily, right? But we have to remember that HIMS is actually not a pure play GLP-1 company. That's one thing to remember. That's what makes this situation very complex, right? If it was a pure play GLP-1 company, I think you can just sell all your shares and don't look at it, right? But now about 20 to 30% of its, and that's not even the whole picture, right? Because in the weight loss solutions that they say 30% of their revenue is going to come from, actually we don't know how much of it is semi-glutides and how much of it is liraglutides, right? So these are all weight loss drugs, if nobody knows what I'm talking about. But these are all weight loss drugs that are included in HIMS weight loss category. So they don't segment out like how much of it is semi-glutide and also how much is other solutions, right? So those are the questions I'm left with now, right? Has the market priced into the lawsuits? And also secondly, who's going to be the next NVO CEO, right? Because there is actually a front runner for NVO CEO that is actually on the HIMS board, right? And if that guy goes in and becomes the NVO CEO, I think you can see this stock continue to rally back up, right? But in the next few days, if the stock actually rallies back to 51, I might just sell my whole position and be done with it, right? As some people might know, my entry is actually $33, right? So even after this steep decline, I'm still at 30% profits, right? Because this is basically like 15% a month, right? So nothing to complain about, but obviously it was just 50% a month just like 2-3 days ago, right? So yeah, that part kind of sucks, but we have to assess the situation in front of us and not think about, oh, what could have been, I should have sold here. Yeah, but we didn't, right? So one signal that could have allowed you to sell early is when we take a look at the daily RSI, right? I know not everyone is a technical bug, but when we take a look here, right, actually here was already overbought, right? Above 80 basically is overbought, right? And if we just took this signal and say, okay, it's overbought and we sold, we would have done much, much better. And then when we take a look somewhere here, this was the second signal actually, and I can't believe I missed this, right? Because when we take a look at the RSI, actually the RSI is at 60, but the prices are even higher than it was when it's 80, right? And that's an indication that the momentum is slowing down, right? And I can't say like for certain, if this HIMS NVO news didn't come out, that it wouldn't just break to all-time highs. But this was a signal for us, right? And this signal basically said is more likely than not, the price and the momentum has slowed down, right? But obviously, if this news didn't come out, who knows what would have happened, right? But this is just maybe one education lesson. And then the second education lesson is basically this margin of safety, right? This concept of margin of safety, right? Because some people that were buying here, obviously they're in heavy losses, and I really feel for those people, right? But you can see that even for me, so even after this steep drop, I'm still in profits, right? And this is because of margin of safety, right? And I think the next time when we buy stocks, we really have to focus on this concept, right? Because we want to be able to be wrong and still make money on the situation, right? And in this case, I'm very glad that I applied this principle when I was buying at HIMS, right? Because you could have easily said at $45 is still a buy, at $60 is still a buy, because you can say, okay, how can Palantir trade at like 400 times earnings or something like that? HIMS you can just buy because it's growing even faster than Palantir. So you can make your assessment like that, or you can make a rational assessment, right? So yeah, at this current point in time, not doing anything, still continuing to hold on to my shares. In the next maybe 1 to 2 weeks, I'll have a decision, right, whether to buy, sell, or continue holding the shares. Depending also on the price action, right. As I mentioned, if it bounces up to $51, I might just sell off the shares, right, and just don't need to think about it, right. But if it bounces to $51 because of some fundamental news, for example, MBO drops this issues. They say, okay, we made a mistake, or this guy came out with because of this messy CEO situation, and he made some decision on his own. Then that's something else, right? That's another situation as well, right? But yeah, for now, I'm not doing anything, continuing to monitor the news, and if there's any update, I'll update you guys once again. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead, and peace out.